Alright guys, this is the iRobot Braava. Now I think I made a video a long time ago when I first got it, so I want to show this again because this thing's really amazing. It'll clean hard floors, and you could sweep or mop. So you can see on the front we have a power, sweep, and mop. And the sweep and mop just changes the function of how it moves. In the sweep mode it just goes straight, and the mop it does a little back and forth movement, which we'll show. This model has a charging base, so when you're done you just throw it on there and it charges. And there's also this little, what do they call this thing? It's a little cube, but they have a name for it. It's their navigation cube. And what this does is it helps the Braava find where to go. So you just put this up in a room somewhere where it can kind of see everywhere in the room. And we're going to go ahead and run this and show a cleaning path demonstration and also show how good it works. So you can see my floor has some dirt on it, especially over here. My dog made a little mess, and I'm not sure if I think that's just some like dirt and stuff he drug in. So we'll see it clean that all up. And what I've done is run this now. I'm going to run this with wet cloth. And you use these reusable cloths, which is awesome. You can throw them in the washing machine, super easy to use, and you just need a couple of them, so if one's dirty you have another one. And you could use them dry for the sweeping, or you can use them wet for the mopping. But I find I just always use them wet, because even sweeping, being wet just helps it pick up a little bit more. They do have a new Braava, a different model now, but it uses like proprietary pads that are single-time use, and they're like $8 for 10 of them, and there's 3 different types. It's a cool robot, a new one, and it has a sprayer on it, so it's always spraying a little bit extra water in front of it. But you got to use proprietary pads. On this one you can use even Swiffer pads and stuff. Real simple to put them on. This part just comes off, and then you just attach, you push them in, there's a little just rubbers, things that hold them in. You could use Swiffer pads or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and run this, get a cleaning path demonstration, and check how much and how good it does, especially in the area over here that looks dirty, that we'll be able to tell the most. So let's hit it to go on sweep first, and then we'll mop. Alright, the sweeping is almost finished, but as you saw, we didn't get this spot yet. There's a little nastiness there, pretty nasty. I zoomed up on camera there. It's going to get there. Might be doing that right now, actually. There we go. Perfect timing to turn on the camera there. And once it gets every spot, and it knows it's gotten every spot, then it's on the sweep mode. Then it's going to do a wall sweep. So it's going to start probably now trying to go around all the walls. And that's the final function of the sweep. So we'll probably see it. Well, it's trying to just finish off this area. That's nice, because it missed that area pretty good. So now it's done a lot of spinning around and stuff in that area, because it was a little piece that its software told it needed to go back to. So now it's going to make sure it's finished every part of the room, and then it'll do a sweep around the all the walls. It'll follow the walls around and do a sweep of all the walls. Might get a little bit of that when I see it happening, and then we will go to the mop mode, and once the mop mode's done we'll take a quick zoom in at this floor again, which you guys just saw in the sweep mode. Even the sweep mode, it looks like it got most of it. So pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mop mode next, once it finishes around the walls, which it's still finishing up a couple spots, but we'll try to catch it when it goes by the wall. And here it is going around the outside walls now. It'll go ahead and do that everywhere it can. Of course it's going to go under this thing so we won't see it. But it'll go around and get next to all the walls now. Alright, so the sweeping finished, and I have a dog and 2 cats, so gonna get some fur. Picked it all up though, I don't see much left on the ground. That was just after the sweeping mode. Now let's go ahead and do the mopping mode. I'll just show you a quick look at the floor. It looks pretty darn good now, but I always run it twice. I always run the sweep and the mop because I feel like, you know, it's going to get everything if you run it twice. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off, put some more hot water on it, and then let it go in the mop mode. So just after like 2 seconds of rinsing it off with hot water, with like the sprayer, real simple to clean in the sink, but again, you could throw these in the washer if you want to, but real simple to clean. So we'll go ahead, just pop it back on. It's kind of held on like with magnets, I believe. And then all we're going to do now is hit this button, and we'll see the pattern that it does now. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys a little bit. This is the 380t, it's just called the 300 series here. But I wanted to show you guys the accessories here. There are actually white cloths, as you can see under this blue one, which are meant for dry, and the blues are meant for wet. I just use the blues myself, and I always kind of use wet. I feel like it works the best, like I talked about. But that's all I use. They also have this reservoir cleaning pad. You put some water in it, and it's supposed to slowly let water out from these wick systems. As you can see, it's right here in the middle. And those wick water onto the blue pad as it's running. I never used this either. I haven't found it worked great. You know, I have it, but I've never used it. I just get my cloth wet, and if I want some water around the floor, I just kind of sprinkle some water around the floor before the robot goes off. You can get new batteries, but I've had my Braava for 2 years and it's still running like new. I can run it like 4 or 5 times before I charge it and haven't needed a new battery yet, but they do sell replacement batteries. And that's the Braava 300. Now, as I told you, there's a new one, the 240. And this one has some cool features. First off, the 380t will clean up to 1,000 feet in sweep mode or 350 square feet in mopping mode. As you saw, it uses more energy because it goes back and forth. The Braava Jet will clean up to 250 square feet, so a little less. It doesn't have a dock. It is $199 usually, but it's on a deal right now for $170, so it's a pretty darn good price. And it has some cool features, like it has a spray jet, and then it also, the cleaning pad kind of vibrates, so it kind of helps scrub the floor. So it has some cool features. The only thing, like I said, is these cleaning pads are one-time use, and you get 10 of them for $8, so you have to keep buying new pads, whereas mine, I never had to buy new pads. Now, I did just come to this page and I hadn't seen this yet. They do sell washable, 2 pads washable mopping pads for $20, so you can get washable ones, which if you do get this robot, definitely get the washable ones, because you know, otherwise you're gonna have to keep buying these over and over because they're one-time use. And that's all the accessories you can get for this new one so far. There's no like extra batteries or anything like that. It doesn't use a cube. The 380t uses that navigation cube. The Braava Jet doesn't use that, but it can't dock either. So there's a couple differences there in the two. But like I said, I've had mine for years. It works great. It's actually, I stopped the mopping, but it's actually finishing up the mopping. Floor is still wet. But let's take a close look here. And if the floor was dry, of course, you wouldn't see that wetness. See, one little spot here is probably just something that was left behind. Oops. And that was just a little piece of something that it just didn't get. But overall, you saw how this space of floor looked earlier. Now it looks perfect. I admit I don't run it as much as I should. If you run this every day, your floors are perfect, you know, every day. I usually run it like you know, I do the sweeping on the mop like once a week. You know, my dog comes in and out of here, so it gets dirty here and there, and I could run it every day, it'd be better, but running it about once a week, it keeps my floors pretty darn good, and real simple to use. I never have to mop anything. And like I said, you can use those replaceable Swiffer pads if you want to, but I prefer this because you don't have to buy anything extra. So it's going to go ahead and finish up, but that was a little demonstration of the Braava 380t and a little bit of description on their new robot, which I thought about getting, but I don't need to, and I don't have that much hardwood floors other than in here and in my bathroom, so no reason to get that now. But if anyone else gets it, let me know in the comments how it works and how you like it. So, we'll see y'all later, and that's the iRobot Braava 380t.